This is Crimson60620. Thanks for choosing to watch my video. And I want to thank everybody who showed support to make that 100 subs. And we're going for 2. Also, Vegeta says, connect with me on my social media pages. And finally, if you want to help support my channel, support my Patreon. Thanks. Before we get into this video, I want to say, one, the value was a little bit low. I was trying to use OBS. First time using it, I think I'm going to actually do it a little bit better next time. Also, it's one of those videos where I had to say something, but the content isn't for little kids. So, all those you want to stay around and watch, enjoy. Yo, what's up? This is Crimson60620. A lot different from my normal topic. When I saw this video, I kind of got really pissed off at the fact of what it's talking about, and it pisses me off in a way that a lot of people ignore the issue, and let's go for it.
Now, I know many of you guys do not believe in reincarnation, but I do believe in it. And that's fine, we can have a disagreement. I'm not saying you have to believe in it. But back in 2016, I heard a hotel, one of those conscious community guys, black woman is God and all that kind of nonsense. I heard one of those dudes saying that these sisters are possessed. And he went on to say that the souls of deceased Caucasian men have stolen the bodies of this American Negro female. And you know,
now, okay, so spiritual beliefs aside, you're letting your thoughts actually be informed by somebody where it's, dude, this just disgusts me, because if you really think it's that bad that it's a cosmic fucking conspiracy to destroy black culture or whatever you want to call it, you got some serious issues, because you're not taking ownership for this shit. And taking ownership is something that you probably want to actually look at what you're not taking ownership for, what's its fucking ownership in the sense of maybe it may be a human thing versus the cosmic awareness. Because you go back to, well, it's people's fault versus it's a cosmic awareness thing. But let's continue.
that sounds crazy at first, but over the last 2 years, I've been thinking about this. And it's starting to make a lot of sense. And he was saying that this would be why they are so masculine, and it may also be a factor in why so many of them are headed towards LGBT, lesbianism. But it's starting.
So there it goes right there. It's, you have this thing where you're, it's just, I don't know. It leaves me shocked for words, because you're actually reinforcing your own bubble, because you're seeing, I don't know what you're seeing. You don't get an elaboration of your personal experience. You leave it to some, what do they call it? Anecdotal evidence about what other people says. But we're going to get into what you say. Let's continue.
It's going to make a lot of of sense to me now. And even if you do not believe in reincarnation, I'm sure we can all agree that there's something terribly wrong with this female. There has to be more to it as to why these women are our sworn enemy. And
no one is your sworn enemy unless they swear to be your enemy. They just don't like you. What else can we say? Is it their fault that they don't like you? Yes, according to you, it is. And you don't like them? Oh, well, it's cosmic justice or it's cosmic vengeance. Let's continue.
And I think we're at a point where decent brothers, black men with half a brain, at least, black men with some degree of integrity, we're basically forced to look elsewhere as far as dealing with women.
This is one of the points. It's actually shown a little bit early right here. You're trying to make an excuse for not liking black women. I don't know what to tell you, dog. I don't know what to tell you. As far as it goes, dude, if that's what you want to go to, do that. But don't just sit back here and degrade a whole group of people because of your personal taste. That just means your personal taste is weak and small. Let's continue.
Many of us no longer want to be involved with the most masculine of women. Many of us are reaching the point where we understand that she is our sworn enemy. And the fact that she's always so willing to work for the master enemy, brothers are going to have to look elsewhere. And if
This is an ironic statement. Going back to your whole... The title of your video gives it alone. They are willing to work with the master enemy. But you're talking about sleeping with white women. Wait, what? And the fact is, no one is your sworn enemy. No one is saying that because black women don't meet my certifications or they're too masculine, then I don't want them. Sorry, God, I have to tell you this. Your ideal of a woman that was about 30 to 70 years, women weren't always like that or perceived like that. You're buying into the culture like you assume they are, that women were some dainty things. No, women, black, white, brown, Hispanic, all across cultures, women have been badasses. And to top it all off, you don't even know how to do your history right. Let's continue.
Of course, we know by now that no matter what race she is, that females are going to be against males. They're always looking to one up. It's always game versus game. You know, there's always a chess match going on.
So, you know it's not about just women of African American descent. You know it's your women, quote, where you're actually thinking that it's about game versus game. If you think relationships are about game, you're doing it wrong. If you have to compete against somebody in order for them to be with you, you're doing it wrong and you've already lost. But I don't know what else to tell you. Oh, by the way, there are masculine women everywhere. And what is your idea of masculinity? That women aren't as dainty as they used to be? Let's continue.
However, I think it's a bit more dangerous when your opponent is the woman who looks like you, the one who is supposed to be on your side, in theory. I think that's more dangerous. At least when you're playing the game of chess, or the game of life, or the game of romance with a female of another race, you kind of know what to expect. So you
Um, I'm sorry, I'm just at a loss of words. Stop with the fucking tribalism. No one is supposed to be on your side because they look like you. No one is supposed to be on your side because they're blood. They're no one is supposed to be on your side. God damn it, you're self-centered. I note the irony from a guy that's on YouTube making videos telling you to listen to me. But but I expect a conversation. I expect to win people from my side because of my arguments, my logic, my reason. If you don't see it, fuck you. If you can respect my opinion, as far as respect I have the ability to make an opinion, and you don't disagree, even if you don't agree, thank you. We can have that argument, that discussion. But when you say you look like me, so you have to be how I want you, loser. Loser. Let's continue.
kind of keep your eyes open, keep your guard up. And I think a lot of brothers let their guard down when they're dealing with a sister because, in theory, she's supposed to actually be a teammate. But as we
I'm just stated this point again, but here's the thing, and I want to really drive this home. Nobody has to love you. Nobody has to fuck you. Nobody because they're a certain clan or tent or country or fucking historical background has to like you. I'm not saying keep your guard up around everybody. No one does. But what I am saying is that fuck, get some get some game, as you call it. Get some better skills. Learn how to talk to people that just don't yes man you. Yes, yes. Oh, yes. No, stop. Let's continue.
know by now, she's the black man's sworn enemy, right? But anyway, I want you guys to take a second and listen to this brother, Red Supreme TV 1, and then we'll get on with the video after he speaks.
Now, I'm actually not going to play the guy's video. I'm going to skip through it. But one thing that I did want to say is this. Sojourner Truth, she she wanted equality. Equality. You it goes back to that point of this being game and winners and losers. If you treat life like that, you've already done it wrong. And we're gonna get back to this whole um, misperceived definition of quote unquote alphas and betas and all that other good bullshit. But you don't know your fucking history. That's like saying that Harriet Tubman was it for fucking slave abuse. Why was she for slave abuse? Well, because she helped slaves escape, and that left the people that were there who were still slaves in worse conditions because of some slaves that left. What the fuck is wrong with you? Are you that petty? Are you that weak of mind that you have to say, well, this person is for slave abuse? So, let's continue. And I'm like I said, I'm going to skip the other guy's video. So before he speaks, I just want to actually point out this motherfucking screen. Now watch. This screen, alphas and betas. God, when you're doing this, you're doing it wrong. The fact is, there are leaders of packs, and then there are not leaders of packs. The only motherfucking packs that have real alphas and betas, where they're leaders, are fucking gorillas. And if I called you a motherfucking gorilla, I don't think you would like that shit. But we're gonna let you make your point.
Out in the animal kingdom, we have the never-ending battle between the alpha male and the beta male. They're always trying to outdo each other. They're always butting heads in an attempt to prove who's the alpha, who's the beta, who's going to win the opportunity and the privilege to procreate with the female and to extend his bloodline and his offspring. Well, the
Okay, really, dog. Like seriously, like if your life is only to extend your bloodline, to procreate, you're doing life wrong. Now, take it from somebody who has a kid, and I, hell, you've seen her and do video reviews of like the Black Panther, but just because somebody looks like me doesn't mean that they're continuing my legacy. DNA isn't the sum total of my legacy. What the sum total of my legacy is what I leave on this world. Maybe it's small, maybe it's big. Maybe me motherfucking doing these pictures in the background, encase them in plastic so they can last longer, is my legacy. Maybe the shit get burned down in the fire. But just to say, my name lives on. Fuck your name. How many billions upon billions of people have left this world without having a legacy, but only DNA? Which gets fucked up in 2 or 3 generations anyway. But I guess small half of minds think alike. But let's continue.
same thing goes on in our community. You have men on either side of the spectrum forever competing for the rights to the big booty bimbo, right? You have the alpha male who more often wins first dibs. And you have the beta male who more often ends up having to settle for the leftovers. Now,
So this actually completely misses the term of survival or the fittest. The fact is, fitness does not mean strength. Humans are weaker than most of our ape cousins, but we are intelligent, and that whole thing of intelligence helps us become more fit to the environment that we've eventually supplemented natural evolutions for our own evolution. But you don't know that. You actually are taking this whole survivor of the fittest means the strongest survives. They call dinosaurs. They were strong. They were actually strong and light. But now we eat dinosaurs because they are fucking chickens. Because the strongest didn't survive. The most adaptive did. And the sad part about it is, and let me just go to this. Give me a second. I'm going to bring something up. Let's see if I still have it. No. Okay, so I didn't download it. So it was a study talking about betas, alphas, and let's see. Let's see if I can actually bring it up. And if I find it, I'm gonna actually put it in the freaking description and let you guys read it. Basically, what it was talking about was how the strongest male wasn't the actual alpha. The largest male wasn't the actual alpha. The male that actually, it was a study over 10 years of chimps, of it was chimps or some type of monkeys or bonobos or something of that nature, and they actually studied over 10 years of who became the alpha of the pack or the leader versus who how their body type changed and how their behaviors were. And it wasn't always the biggest male. And they found some correlation. It was something that took some time. It was some studies that took. It was some studies over time that they did. Excuse me, and they discovered that the male that actually helped out the most, that actually built the coalition, was the ones that did become more of the leader because they built coalitions. It's that scene where you would have that leader just coming together and pulling together a group, and they rallied behind that leader, not who forced their will upon everybody else. But and I'm going to leave that description down in the box. Let's continue.
Now, of course, we Sigma males, we leave all of that competition up to the alpha and the beta male, right?
I wanted to stop it right here because he's complaining that he can't get a woman because of the competition, and he classifies himself as a Sigma male. The thing about it is in these classifications of what men are and things of that nature versus alpha, betas, omegas, gammas, things of that nature. The fact is, if you were so disinterested in playing the game, you wouldn't have made this video, dog. I know I'm making a video talking about your video, but in the end, if you're so dissatisfied with the game, if you're so dissatisfied with how alphas, betas, and all that other good shit just play with the concept of females, then why make this video? Why say I'm gonna go after a white woman? You're gonna be facing white men for their competition, or is it that you think you are naturally an alpha because white women want men? I think that's want black men, but I think that's the case. However, it just seems as if you're just you're whining, and you're no different from these fucking incels that talk about Chads and Stacys and Tyrones. I guess you want to be the Tyrones in this thing, but let's continue.
But why is this? Why are brothers continuously fighting for the rights to procreate with their sworn enemy? Well, I'm going to explain why. And I want to start off by talking about the different generations of this enemy going on.
They're not your sworn enemy, dog. Stop it. And for you to sit back and throw this picture up, this shows that you don't have just an issue with women. It shows that you have an issue with just so many other things. And I'm trying not to spoil the video because I've saw this video more times than I care to watch. But they're not your sworn enemies. And even if you think Black women are your sworn enemies. God damn it, you said earlier in your video that all women are your enemies because they're trying to go against you. And I'm sorry. Let's continue.
All the way back to the baby boomer generation, represented by the lady on the right, and then the Generation X, represented by the woman on the left, and then the latest generation, represented by the granddaughter in the middle. The baby boomer class, which I will call the sellout class, they sold us out, they continue to sell us out even now. In fact, if you listen closely to the recent conversations in the black manosphere, we have a particular baby boomer who continues to sell us out to this very minute. But that's
I don't get it. I don't get who is this sellout. I tend to think that it's Oprah. I think that you believe Oprah is selling you out for some reason. Um, God, this is really it's really alarming because everything else is somebody else's fault. And if you want to talk about the baby boomer generation, that's great because here's the thing: when it comes down to it, the baby boomers started the whole thing of consumerism as we know it today. They weren't the cause of it, but they started the popular trend of it. The cause of it really was economical issues where if you actually push to say, hey, we have disposable income, let's spend it. And it was a feedback loop of where a self-reinforcing feedback loop where more people had money, more people actually spent it. Advertisers and companies wanted to get more money, so more people would start making more money. And if you want to talk about how we had the issue of where in the 1970s where a lot of companies actually start breaking apart your earning from your actual productivity. If you want to talk about that, where people had to work more to get more things, have that conversation. But this is not just black people. Black people were the first affected because they had the least. But don't make it seem as if that, oh, it's just the black women that sold us out. No, it sounds as if you have an issue with your mother.
subject for a different video. But these baby boomer women, some of the most religious and hypocritical women you'll ever meet. Many of them are obese. In fact, I remember Sergeant Willie Pete talking about his own mother, very educated, very successful in the corporate world, but then she has never taken care of her weight issue.
Okay, so it seems like jealousy. And every time I hear this video, I just hear jealousy going on, where it's just like, well, they did this, they did that, they had 4 or 5 degrees, they succeeded in corporate America. It sounds jealousy in two different ways. You're jealous of their success, and you're jealous of their accomplishments, and those are two different things. The accomplishments are the degrees that they get. No matter how you feel about college, I personally feel that the technocrat thing of you have to go to school, you have to get a degree, is something where, in to lack of a better term, is a system of control, and not in an implicit sense that everybody wants to nefariously control us. No, what you can attribute to malice, what you can attribute to malice can easily be attributed to greed, stupidity, and fear. But that's a different conversation, like you said. What I don't understand is it sounds as if that a lot of these people have issues with their mother. But let's continue.
Her physical health. And I'd have to say that the same goes for my mother. In fact, it was problems with her weight that actually led to her demise. You see, this American sister, she has lots of faith in everything except what's real. She knows how to call upon Jesus. She knows how to call upon the Holy Spirit. But she doesn't know how to jog even 1 mile. Just 1 mile a day can do a whole lot. But no, she doesn't believe in that. My mother was the same way. I think she achieved 4 degrees, 2 master's degrees, 1 doctorate, but she couldn't handle her personal health. And then what these baby boomer women did, they passed that attitude down to the next generation of women. The same way that the master taught.
All right, so he has an issue with his mother. And the fact is, again, dog, if you had an issue with religion, that's fine. Make it an issue about religion and make it an issue about American women. The problem is you're so caught up in your community, you're so caught up in yourself. You don't see it as a problem for American women, not just black women. But it's, it's, I don't know what else to say. Only thing that I can say is you're doing it wrong, man. You're doing it wrong. Because in the end, if you want to talk about how the political, economical, religious culture has actually affected a lot of people, not just black people, but a lot of people, we can have that conversation. But this deconstruction of, well, black women are bad and I like white women, you don't need to hate one thing to like another. Or maybe you do. Maybe you're that simple minded that you feel that you have to hate one thing versus just liking something. I'm sorry. I like PlayStation. Actually, I'm going to be doing my final editing of this video on my PlayStation. That doesn't mean that I hate Microsoft. No, I'm using a Microsoft computer. That doesn't mean that I hate Xbox. I bought my daughter an Xbox. But the fact that you can't see that you have to put somebody down to feel like you're stepping up, I don't know what to tell you. And I know this rant is going a little bit along, but I want to actually put something else out there. Are you also the pinnacle of great health? Because it seems as if you made a point that all you have to do is jog a mile a day. All you have to do that. All you have to do is this. Take care of your health. I fucking ride a bike when it's warm, a mile a day, a mile and a half, sometimes 3.25, 3 miles and a quarter, depending on how I feel that day. I do that, and I'm still a fat ass. I eat like shit. But you must be the perfect pinnacle of health. Let's continue.
Walker in the manosphere failed to raise his daughter correctly, and now she's another one of these single mothers out here. A lot of these baby boomer women did just the exact same thing. They completely failed at raising children.
Now, let's just look at this screen. I don't know what to say. This is one of the head people in the manosphere, and I just don't want to. That's not a sphere that I want to get into. They may be as retarded as flat earthers, but you are saying that somebody, you're throwing stones at somebody. The fact is, fine, if you have raised a kid perfectly well, if you've been in a relationship where you actually had somebody where they wanted to be around you long enough to have your kid, or mistakenly got somebody to have your kid, that's fine. But something tells me you sound a little bit jealous. This somebody a little jelly. But let's continue.
Now, why am I talking about this? Well, I want to disprove a myth. For a long time, people have said that, well, there's always more fish in the sea. There's always other women out there. Don't fight over women. And I agree, you should not fight over women. But the reason these alphas and these betas are fighting over women, are competing for the females, is because there is a shortage of women.
No, they're not. There's no shortage of women.
And I'm talking about
Let Most of the Negroes out here claim that there are so many fish in the sea are alpha and beta simps who are comfortable mating with single moms older than 33. Um, yeah, and they have women and you don't. You're complaining about it. Oh my god, like I don't know what else to tell you. Um, um, that's like, damn it, that is like the incel problem. So here's the thing about incels. Incels in some of the most retarded, and I don't mean in the sense of they have development issues. They're not quote unquote issues where they are, developmentally challenged. No, when I say retarded, as in a line of thought that is regressive, they have this issue where if women weren't whores or sluts, I would have a woman. First of all, if you want to actually get a good woman, get you a whore or a slut. Because once you classify them as that, they become completely off the table to you. But once you realize that you want a normal person, then you kind of open up to just better people, or at least people that want to deal with you. God damn, it's like you have an issue with making sure that women remain all pure and perfect and don't know anything better. You sound like these ideological, backwards religious folks that says I'm going to get 72 virgins when I go to heaven, or the perfect woman is the woman that I can take as a child bride. You sound retarded, regressive, and you seem to have a lack, excuse me, of confidence. If you think that you're so much better, you don't mind competition. Because in the end, if you have to try really hard to compete with somebody else, you're doing it wrong. When you can just be yourself and just have what you want without having to compete, god damn it, you're a winner. But something tells me you don't feel that way. You feel like you want to eliminate all the competition. You want to feel like you want to have nothing that somebody can compare things to. And if that's how you win, by getting rid of all the competition, how confident are you? But let's continue.
viable, desirable women in our community. You see, when people talk about the men are outnumbered by the women, they're missing a lot of the factors that determine whether or not she's actually viable. If over half of them are overweight because they learned it from their mother and their grandmother, and the majority of them already have children that become single mothers 2 and 3 times over, those women are really not viable. So the number of actual women that are actually available for capable and deserving men is a very, very low number in our community. Listen.
All right, so let's address something that's specific to black communities but is affecting a lot of other people and will soon affect everyone. There are some women who are single mothers because they just wanted to be single mothers. There are some women who are single mothers because they had a relationship that ended. There are some women who are single mothers because of issues with one night stands. The shit happens. But there are also people that their home that they grew up with. And, you know, it's they grew up with, where they've learned that single parents aren't a bad thing. And what I mean by that is, going back to the economical and political issues, a lot of black people were rounded up and faced harsher consequences for small crimes. And that left to an overrepresentation of African Americans in the penal system. And that led to, whether it was originally fostered by racism or it led to even fostering even more racism, it led to the destruction of a lot of families. A lot of people grew up with the idea that, hey, I'm alive with only one single parent. I can be alive with that. A lot of people grew up with the responsibility of not knowing or not understanding how not just a family needs to grow and become together. We used to have clans. And I'm not in a sense of the racist type, but where it was a group of families that lived together. Humans are a social species. And the idea of this whole nuclear family 2.5 kids, that's something that was only a construct specifically during the baby boomers generation to about the 1990s, where divorce became a little less socially stigmatized. It was always been more socially stigmatized, but we went through that period where divorce was more socially stigmatized because it was just, it was something that people pushed in a specific way. Now that part is actually breaking apart, and it's kind of a long ramble, but you're going under this concept. You're actually leaving out a lot of different things. You want to talk about black women are overweight. Newsflash, 33% of America is overweight, morbidly so. And the fact is, black people only make up, what, 5%, 10% of the population? Maybe a little bit more. Even if the number as high as 20. It's not just black folks that are overweight. Let's continue.
To take 10 sisters and 10 brothers, right? The chances are 5 of those brothers are gonna be viable in terms of being in decent shape, having an income. It doesn't mean he's rich. He doesn't have children all over the place by 5 different women.
Hold on, dog. Your hypocrisy is showing. And so it's something bad when a woman has at least one child out of wedlock, as you call it. But if a guy has one child, he should be excused. Your special pleading is also showing. The fact is, I don't know what to tell you, man. Because it sounds as if you're projecting your own ideas against somebody else. These same fallacies and fantasies that you're accusing women of having, you're having as well. And maybe it's a product of our media. Maybe it's a product of what we are conditioned to say, this looks good, this looks bad. I don't know. But you just shown what's going on. Because I don't know if you have kids. I don't know if you can't get a woman. I don't know. You're not putting this personal information in your video. And I don't think I can stomach watching any of your other videos. But, yeah. Let's continue with your little experiment.
But if you take those 10 sisters, half of them are X'd out immediately based on STDs. Then you have to X out 2 or 3 more of them based on being overweight or being single mothers.
Wow. Okay. Um I don't know what to say with that, man. This is some shit that really disgusts me, because this comes straight out of the incel playbook, and the motherfuckers that feel that they are in the manosphere and the incels should actually meet together, and they can all go fuck themselves, and now they will be able to have a relationship that they want. And they can adopt kids, then they can have their family, and maybe they can actually get a lesbian couple to want to just have their kids. But I doubt it, because nobody wants to understand their donor is an asshole. But let's continue.
So now you have 2 women left for 4 or 5 guys to compete for. So don't let anybody tell you that there's more women than men out here, because that's a half truth. Now let me read.
All right, so um, I'm still trying to get to this whole thing of what does he mean by overweight, because I I have a sneaking suspicion that his overweight isn't what we would colloquially call overweight. He may actually be going with what the physicians call overweight, which, granted, hey, they have a point. They actually study certain things, but I don't know what his overweight is, and I have a sneaking suspicion that he's talking about a model type woman or someone that's close to it. But I bet if he actually did want to get one of those model type women, he'll complain about them being lazy. But let's take a darker tone down this video, and this is just one of the things that kind of disgusts me about what he was saying. But let's continue.
Briefly illustrate another factor in why there is a shortage of viable and available women. Among other races, have you noticed that when you have your cross-dressers and your transgenders, have you noticed that there's a distinction between men and women? And the distinction is so visible that a cross-dresser of another race cannot fool you. If there's a transgender of another race,
Okay, so I'm gonna let this screen sit up here for a second, and I don't know what else to say. I really don't. He's hit racism. He's hit fucking transphobia, whatever the hell it's called, and he's hit all sorts of bullshit. God damn, you. I don't know. Shit. And for him to say that it's about how. Let's continue.
you know that that person was born a man. No question about it. And that has to do with the way that other races have true distinction between their men and their women, generally, right? But when you look at ours, because our females have become so masculine, because their baby boomer parents and grandparents have raised them to be so manly and think so independently, it sets the stage for the transgender and the cross-dressers to fool people. And that's why
I'm not fooled by a transgender woman. And to be honest with you, I here's the thing. If you think that you're fooled, have a conversation with that person. Don't just go by their looks. And the fact that you are stating that there is a bad thing, that people don't blindly follow your stupid ass, literally says how bad and how disingenuous this thing is that you're upset about. You're upset that women have a mind of their own, that they don't just swallow your bullshit like you want them to swallow something else of yours. And you know what? I would be mad too. I would be mad if I was a small minded, delusional pea brain like you are. They get tricked by transgender. How do you get tricked by somebody who says that they're transgender? How? And I'm not saying it is not possible, but what, you don't have a conversation with them? You don't find out about their past? I don't know. Let's continue.
Why you have a lot of people retaliating on those cross-dresser transgender people, it ends up real bad. The masculinity level among the sisters is through the roof. So when you count this in, that eliminates even more of the women. And this is why
You sound pissed because people are thinking for themselves. And I kind of notice the small little throw in of, oh, well, they're people are excused for being hostile towards other people. I don't know what's going on with you, dog. It sounds as if you're trying to justify a lot of different actions at once. You're trying to justify your preference for white women, which is something that you can actually do. You're trying to justify your your whole thing of just being an asshole. But let's continue, and we're about to finish this.
you have brothers fighting and competing for the very, very few that remain available in our community. But there's simply not enough to go around. So what is that going to result in? It's going to result in black men ending up between the legs of white women, and really any other race of women. But more often it's going to end up being a Caucasian woman. And you know, I've spoken more than once about how Mexican women are the best choice for us within the United States. And I stand by that. However, I think that
And we see what's going on. The thing is, you're using this to justify what you actually like. And I don't blame you for that, dog. It's just that you had to go through all of this. The fact is, it's women in general that you have a problem with how the relationship between men and women in the U.S. Stop it. And this whole, yes, dude, you're not this fucking attractive. You don't look like this motherfucker right here. But go ahead, let's continue.
many of us are going to end up with Caucasian women, then it's simply based on culture. Believe it or not, we have more in common with Caucasian American females than we have in common.
Okay, most brothers are never going to travel out the U.S. and they will also not settle for sisters. That's your problem.
And then, of course, there are brothers who actually do swirl. You know, we have a lot of black men on YouTube saying that brothers don't swirl and only the sisters do the swirling. And I hate to inform you that that's not true. There's a lot of brothers that only deal with Caucasian American women. That's all they're looking for. They may entertain the idea of
I'm just done at this picture. The thing about it is I'm done at this picture because this fucks hard. He's doing this to kind of get back at people. And if you're looking to get with somebody just to get back with people, that makes you trash. Let's finish this video out.
dating Asian or Hispanic, but really they're looking for a blonde, tan girl. Nobody can tell me any differently because I know these men personally. But yeah, we are in a mating crisis. We're in a situation where black men are improving themselves, black men are traveling. They're in the gym, they're jogging, they're working out, eating better. And the sisters are not up to par. And even the ones who
All right, my time is running out, but this is the fucked up part about it is it's you fucking. Oh god, I'm disgusted by this video. I gotta go and take a shower after this. I don't know. Maybe, just maybe he can actually get a woman and get better, but I doubt it. He's in his echo chamber. And it's not even about how he wants to, build something with a woman.
They often fail
Watch.
and then they come back chasing brothers, but that's a subject for a different video. But it's inevitable. Black men are going to end up between the legs of white women. And with the next generation of youngsters coming up, it may even become the norm. Not to mention how the Caucasian women are wanting brothers more than ever before. We're not even talking about that on this video. The fact that they're checking for us more than ever now. And there's also going to be more unfortunate men, like this brother in the photo, who's going to wife these Caucasian women up. I would strongly advise against it. Remember, just because you end up between their legs doesn't mean you have to give her that legal marriage. It doesn't mean you have to go to the jewelry store spending all your savings on a ring.
All right, I'm gonna finish this video. But what was his main point, or one of his main points, that black women are women without or single mothers, overweight, and things of that nature. His last point is fuck a white woman, and that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get just the perfect union. But if you're fucking them and you're not married to them, and a kid pops off, didn't you just create another problem? You know what? These people, it's like the problem that I have with people that's over religious or people that take things to the extreme of their ideal. But god damn it, this is disgusting. If you like white women, say that. If you don't, if you don't like sisters, say that. But you don't have to put one person down in order to make yourself feels good to feel good. This is Criminal 60620. I know it's outside of my normal set of videos talking about a specific topic like this, but this is a video to discuss me, and once I've actually put everything up for the video, I'll be glad to scrub this out of my brain. But as for right now, guys, I have to go take a shower. I'm done with this. Peace.